Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Bet Boost Brothers. I'm Willie D.
And I'm Big Mike, and it's Championship Sunday. Finally here. We're really excited about the video today. Today we are going to show you two new bets, two new promos that we found, and we've got locked and loaded ready for tonight, as well as recap the three NFL bets that we showed you guys in the last video.
Yep. And then stick around at the end of the video. We have an NBA boost that we've come across that we like and a bet that we have locked and loaded for that, as well as an EPL boost that we're very excited about. And we also have a bet locked in for that. So that'll be at the end. Can't wait to go over that with you all.
Yeah, let's jump into it.
Let's do it. All right, let's jump right into it. So the two new additions to our promo playbook. First, we've got Bet365. So as you see on your screen here, we've got a $10, essentially a no sweat bet. They call it a safety net bet. It's got to be plus 100 odds. It's the same game parlay, minimum of 3 legs. So now on your screen, you'll see the bet that we have locked in for this. Mike, I know me and you, we don't hate it, but a little bit of disappointment when we saw this one come through.
Yeah, I was really hoping we would get a same game parlay boost, like in terms of a percentage, whether it was a 30 or 50%. Still holding out hope we might get a super boost later today, but we'll take what we can get, right?
Yeah, it's not the end of the world, but it does shift our strategy a little bit. I know in our last video we had a plus 100 playbook play kind of sitting at bat for Bet365's anticipated promotion. We're still going to hold that in our back pocket. We'll talk a little bit more about the strategy as we go through this video. But for this bet, what we've gone ahead and done is essentially trailed our DraftKings no sweat bet promotion that came through earlier this week in our last video. We'll recap it at the end. But we're essentially plugging in the same play here, as you can see on the screen. We did get a little bit of cushion here that we weren't offered by DraftKings. So here we're able to do Jalen Hurts at 20 plus rushing yards opposed to 25 in our other bet. And then the other two legs are essentially the same. We're rolling with the Saquon Barkley anytime touchdown and then 1 plus Jaden Daniels passing touchdowns. So I feel good about this one, Mike.
Yeah, I think, hopefully Saquon comes through for us. You'll see the theme later as well that we've got with the passing touchdowns. So hoping we can pull this one through, and now we've kind of doubled up on the no sweat. So even if it doesn't, we've got some ammunition to go into the second game with.
And I think this might be a good part to just recap our strategy. If our two no sweats miss, the DraftKings and the Bet365, since they're essentially the same bet, if they do miss, since we haven't come across a great promotion for our plus 100 playbook play that we went over in our last video, our plan is to take the no sweat bet tokens and put them on our plus 100 play from our last video.
Yeah, I think that's a smart play, but hopefully we won't have to do that.
Yep, hopefully not.
All right, so next we've got our FanDuel bonus that we found. And looking at this bet here, so it's a 20% boost, same game parlay, plus 100 odds. Minimum 3 legs. We put 4 legs to get it to that plus 100 area. We're just above plus 100, I think around plus 115. But essentially, this is both games, every quarterback, 1 passing touchdown. So we're hoping that everybody gets one, and then we're all happy, right? So this is our same game parlay boost that we found on FanDuel, 20%. Best one that we've got so far, but holding out hope we still might get something else.
Yeah, I feel pretty good about this. I mean, the only one who I feel is a lock is Mahomes. I feel good about Allen. I feel pretty good about Daniels. Who knows how the Eagles offense ends up going? They could have 4 rushing touchdowns, but
yeah,
I don't hate it. I'm happy to roll with it.
Yeah, and obviously, the more points that are scored today, the better that goes for all of our bets.
Exactly. Lock it in.
All right, everybody. Just as a recap, this is what we've got locked in from our previous video going into today for the game. We'll start with our DraftKings no sweat bet. So this was a $5 bet to return 1270. We got 25 plus yards rushing for Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, anytime touchdown, and one Jaden Daniels passing touchdown.
Yes, sir. Lock it in. All right, the next bet we want to go over is the Caesars 50% boost plus 400 odds requirement. I think it's a minimum of 3 legs. We have 4 legs here. You can see them on the screen. Josh Allen, anytime touchdown. Patrick Mahomes, over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Josh Allen, alternate rushing yards at 40 plus. And the Bills plus 6.5. I know the line has moved a little bit since we placed this, so check and see if you can get it at 7.5. That's a $5 bet to return $36.50.
Yep, and then finally our other plus 400 play, because remember this was a boost pack, so you get two 50% boosts for these plus 400 plays, so feel free to use them on the same game, but we've separated them into 2 separate games. This one is for the Commanders Eagles. We got the Commanders plus 12.5, buying them up from plus 6 when we placed the bet. We've got 1.5 over 1.5 passing touchdowns for Jaden Daniels, 4 receptions for Terry McLaurin, and under 128.5 rushing yards for Saquon Barkley.
I love it. Lock it in.
Yep. Looking forward to it. We'll see what happens.
All right. Next up, Mike, we've got an EPL boost. So this promotion came through on FanDuel. We actually came across it yesterday, but held off on diving into it until Sunday's action. Partially so we could get it, on the video and share our bet with you all, but also partially because our favorite team plays on Sunday, so it really worked out. I guess if you look below, yeah, Mike's background, he's got CR7. Man, they're really missing him these days.
Yeah.
But yeah, below, so it's on FanDuel. Shout out to FanDuel. It's a 30% boost, and it requires plus 100 odds. So we'll be able to make a plus 100 play, which is our favorite. Requires 3 legs, same game parlay. So yeah, Mike, let's get into it. Let's dive into our bet.
Yeah, I mean, we start with the Bruno Fernandez shot on target. I think that's a I'm surprised at how far down he is in the odds in terms of like the different options for players, because I feel like he's always one to take a speculative shot, and sometimes it goes right to the keeper's hands. He's on penalties, obviously. He's on set pieces. A lot of opportunities to get a shot on target, even if he doesn't score a goal. And he's also been in really good form. I mean, I think he has 4 goals in his last 5 or 6 games. He's some of them penalties, but a shot on target's a shot on target. So I like that
Yeah,
one.
well, he's far down on the odds, but so are all the United players. I think he's got the same odds as Hoyland, our center forward.
Yeah.
So you go either way, but we watch every Man United game, and we both agree Bruno's the most likely to get a shot on target. So we're going to add that in our parlay for sure. The next leg we have is Onana, 2+ saves. So, this for me feels like a safe bet. Mike brought up to me that the last game he had 0, but typically he gets 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sometimes even. So, more often than not 2. But I think 2 is a good number. I mean, they're playing Fulham. Fulham's got a good attack, so I think he might make a blunder, but I could see 2 saves.
Yeah, I mean it's a low number. I think this one, it was sitting around right around minus 450 on its own. So obviously Vegas is on our side there. There are a lot of times he only gets 2, so it might be a nail biter, but he usually gets at least 2.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then our third leg we have here. This is the lock on the bet slip. Knock on wood. Over 4.5 corners. I think both teams average right around 4.5 corners a game, so this should be a lock. It's total combined, so I really think it's going to come down to those first 2 legs.
Yeah, me too. I mean, the closest we mentioned being far down on the odds. I believe Bruno's in the 160 range for a shot on target, somewhere like that, something
Yeah.
like that. So that's obviously our closest leg to even. Like I said, the Onana saves is right around minus 450, minus 500, something like that. And then I don't have the corners one off the top of my head, but I would imagine that's close to minus 1,000 or minus 700 or something pretty big. That one's the one. A lot of sites won't even give you 4.5 corners. They started at 5.5 or 6.5. So hopefully
Yeah.
that's the lock.
Well,
But that's what we got locked
yeah,
in for today, and hopefully get us a nice cushion, a nice little start to our Sunday action.
for sure. Actually, it's a 2 p.m. kickoff, so it
Oh,
won't be much earlier than the first NFL game, but we'll be watching.
yeah, it should lead right into it.
All right, next up, we've got our first NBA boost and bet that we've showed on this channel. Um, so I'm pretty excited about this one. There's only one NBA game on the slate today, but this boost is available through DraftKings. All right, so you can see on the screen here the bet ticket. First, I'll preface. So I actually received an NBA bonus bet, $25. This one didn't pop up for Mike earlier
Yeah,
this week, but it did pop up for me. So maybe it just is lucky, or I'm not sure exactly how they do it. But if you see a bonus bet opportunity pop up, I'd encourage you to jump on it. So this one, essentially, I had to bet $25 on any NBA bet with minus 500 odds or more. And let me tell you, it was a nail biter. I had Jaren Jackson to get 5+ rebounds in his last game, and he landed just at 5. So that was minus 470, and it barely came through. But as a result, I did get this NBA bonus bet, which is what I am applying to this bet. But as you can see at the bottom, there are other boost options available on DraftKings for this bet. Most prominent is the OKC versus Portland 33% same game parlay boost. So if you apply that boost to this same bet, it takes it from minus 125 to about plus 110. So, Mike, I know you're thinking about potentially trailing me here later in the day, depending on your early success in the NFL window.
yeah, I think so. And I think whether that EPL bet hits or the early NFL bet's looking good, I think I might hop on that train with you.
Sweet. Yeah. And, me and Mike, we're still dipping our toes in NBA betting. We have had mixed success. I think our tracker shows us just ever so slightly positive, but we're still kind of learning how we want to, approach NBA games, especially in the regular season. I think once the playoffs come, players will be taken a lot more serious, but me and Mike just kind of struggle with the lackadaisical nature of the NBA regular season when it comes to betting, especially.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to predict the not just, I wouldn't say necessarily just the like effort, but sometimes just in terms of how players are managed, their minutes, you know, the games aren't always close. Are they going to actually have enough opportunity to get the points and like things like that that you see a little bit in other sports, but it's much more. I feel like it's much more prominent in the NBA.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Diving into the bet itself, despite my Trailblazers jersey on, this is an OKC heavy bet. I think the biggest concern here is what Mike just touched on. If this is going to be a blowout, SGA, Hartenstein, they might not get the minutes that they need to hit here, but I'm hoping it'll be close enough where they play normal minutes. I got SGA at 35 plus points and assists. He's been on a hot streak. He could get this with points alone. Hopefully, assists will help him get there. I got Thunder money line. This is hopefully a lock. I think Vegas has it at like minus 800 money line right now. So hopefully this comes through. And then the last leg, Hartenstein, 8+ rebounds. He's been tearing it up on the boards, double digits in three out of 4 of his last games. So I'm hoping that this hits.
That looks good to me.
All right. Thank you all for joining us this morning. Super excited to see how these bets play out. We do have one more thing for you all before we sign off. So in our last video, we introduced the promo playbook tracker. a Google Sheets file we put together where we enter our bets in live time and kind of track our plus and minus on everything. So we've got some exciting news to share about that, Mike.
Yeah, so we're gonna have a link in the description below so that you can follow along with our bets with us in real time. You can see what action we put in between videos and any boosts that pop up that we aren't able to cover just because it happens between filming. You'll be able to track there. So link will be in the description. Looking forward to the rest of the day. Hope you guys have good luck as well, and we'll catch you next time.
Good luck. Have a good weekend, everybody.